Most people think the most dangerous asset in a collapse is obvious. Stocks, crypto, real estate, anything risky. But history keeps proving a colder truth. The most dangerous asset in a collapse is the one you thought was guaranteed. Because when something is labeled safe, people concentrate their entire life inside it. They stop questioning it. They stop diversifying. They stop preparing for the day the rules change. You're watching hidden money history. So what's the asset? A claim? Not an object. A promise you don't control? Your bank deposit? Your pension statement? Your safe bond fund? Your fixed income plan? Even your cash sitting in an account you can't instantly access. Those aren't always dangerous. In normal times, they feel like stability. But in a real collapse, the threat isn't just price drops. The threat is access. Because collapses don't start with headlines. They start with restrictions. A bank, temporarily, limits withdrawals. A government temporarily controls foreign currency. A market temporarily freezes. A fund temporarily gates redemptions. A payment rail temporarily stops working. And suddenly the question isn't, how much do I have? It's, can I use it? This is where people get trapped. They didn't own an asset. They owned a permission slip, a claim on an institution that can say no. And history is full of moments where institutions said no, not because they were evil, because they were scared, because liquidity vanished, because the system was protecting itself. In other words, your safe asset became dangerous the moment everyone tried to use it at once. That's the brutal rule of collapse. Safety is fragile when it depends on crowds behaving calmly. Now compare that to assets that don't need permission. Productive skills, tools, inventory for a business, a trusted local network, and yes, sometimes hard assets. Those aren't perfect either, but they don't vanish with one policy announcement. So the twist is this. In a collapse, volatility isn't the main danger. Illiquidity is. Price pain hurts. Access pain destroys. And the most dangerous asset is the one that can be frozen while you watch. Here's why guaranteed assets become traps. Because the system is built on smooth flows. Deposits to lending, pensions to long-term investing, bonds to refinancing, markets to continuous liquidity. When confidence breaks, the flow breaks. And when the flow breaks, institutions do what they're designed to do. They ration access. They don't announce it as panic. They announce it as policy. Stability measures, temporary controls, emergency safeguards, orderly restructuring. But for ordinary people, it feels like one thing. You did everything right, and your money still became untouchable. Now, this doesn't mean never trust banks or never invest. The lesson is sharper than that. Don't confuse a number with control. A statement is not access. A promise is not possession. So what's the practical historical takeaway? 1. Diversify by custody, not just by asset class. If everything sits behind one set of doors, one decision can trap you. 2. Value liquidity as a survival feature. In a crisis, what you can use matters more than what you can quote. 3. Understand counterparty risk. If your asset depends on someone else performing, it's not truly yours in the moment you need it most. And that leads to the real message of this episode. The most dangerous asset in a collapse isn't what drops the fastest. It's what locks you in. Now, I want your answer in the comments. If access to your money was restricted for 30 days, what would break first in your life? Rent, food, business, or family obligations? Write it below. And subscribe to Hidden Money History for more stories where money and power collide.